Late fall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Jackson going to run again. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find a way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Following the interception, Cousins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw is Cousins. It's caught. Smith. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 1st and 10, Cousins.
That'll be caught. Rager with it. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
A first carry here for Kene Nwangu.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They'll run with Cook. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Jalen Rager,
his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
Dancing away at the 35. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the first round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Troy Pride. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. To throw, Cousins. Flushed out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Cousins gives way to Cook. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Handoff here to Nwangu. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. first down. Here's the run with Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Back to the ground, Cook. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Handoff comes to Cook. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. The kick by Joseph is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Second and 10.
Here's Jackson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now left side on the swing pass. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
They hand this off to Harris. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down. Shotgun handoff now for Love. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. They run for it with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris.
His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Steelers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Joseph's got it, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Complete. Smith has it. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
On the give is Nwangu.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Second down at 4.
Another run now for Nwangu. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Cousins now from the 50. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Cousins on 1st down. Throw left side, on target to Thielen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Cousins will try and throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Jackson's throw complete there to Johnson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. From the 31, Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Love. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Jackson will throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And that is incomplete.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. This is Smith with a grab. Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr. with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Joseph now to have the PAT. It's up and good, and they're in control now, 35-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 29, Jackson. Being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion. From
the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jackson now.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sideline.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 20. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Boy, so another interception.
It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run with Nwangu, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the handoff, it's Madison. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Madison, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
6 yards left on 2nd down. The give is to Bell. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Well, lots of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done. Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another carry now for Madison. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll look to run with Nwangu. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll try to run with Madison, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And they'll indeed take a knee. Big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis.